car hit a bump on the side of the track, caught air, and then landed and lost some wing.
Is that what the
So
wing
that's what the
damage
wing
was?
damage came from.
Yeah.
So either you know what,
Okay.
that I take it all back. George Russell masterclass. He must have planned that from the grid walk. He must have planned that the entire white time and cause the retirement that way. Did you hear the Italian commentation as he went across the line? He was like, Michael Schumacher, Kimi Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, and that was so hype.
Damn.
It was so hype.
Yeah.
I was very happy to see that. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Formula Frauds podcast for the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix inaugural and probably final.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Well, it's on rotation. So.
Oh, is it?
I think it's back in 2028.
Oh.
But
I thought it was gone forever.
It's on rotation. No, it's on rotation with Belgium, I'm pretty sure.
Belgium.
We're not even a minute in. We're not even a minute in.
We got new information.
We're spreading misinformation.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I thought it was such a good Grand Prix to watch. Lewis Hamilton, the GOAT. He's back, Krish. He's back.
Yeah. He is. I was actually really happy to see. Yeah, I was really happy to see Lewis Hamilton on the podium because, it's unlike a Max fan to say this, but seeing him in the Ferrari and finally getting a win after so long is really nice to see. I do hope he gets another championship in that Ferrari.
Did you hear the Italian commentation as he went across the line? He was like, Michael Schumacher, Kimi Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, and that was so hype.
Damn.
It was so hype.
Yeah.
I was very happy to see that. Despite being a McLaren fan, which we'll get onto dodgy dealings at McLaren as usual, but
as Seb said, everyone's a Ferrari fan. So
that's true. And to be honest, it's such a nice change from Mercedes dominance throughout this entire season, and finally we have a different winner. And it's so hype. Yeah.
Well, in case you missed it, shall we go through some of the highlights of the race? What were some of your highlights, Jamie?
Well, my main highlight was obviously the Lewis win, but there was also some really cool moments. Racing Bulls doing really well, both getting points. Alpine making their way through the grid. Good to see. So like good progress from those teams. Haas pre-washed for the first time. They've been on a downward spiral throughout.
This is sort of what happens with Haas. I think it's what happened last year as well. They had some good races, but generally they taper off. So is it surprising? Probably not really. But
that's true. Also, Kimi Antonelli retirement. Now I can't believe. I'm sorry, I can't believe George Russell, despite being in that team for so long, and a race where he's supposed to be dominant, right? Where he's been in the front for a very long time, and was better than Kimi throughout the entire weekend, really, and yet he still gets overtaken by him in the race towards the end. And I to be honest, I think this says bad things about George.
I read somewhere that George apparently had some damage or something with his car that meant that he wasn't able to go as quickly as he would have if his car wasn't damaged. That's such a stupid statement. But I'm in my Will Buxton era.
The thing is, Kimi also had damage because there was a moment where George kind of it was borderline forced him off the track on the straight going down into turn 1, and apparently his car hit a bump on the side of the track, caught air, and then landed and lost some wing.
Is that what the wing damage was? So that's what the wing
damage came from.
Yeah.
So either you know what, that I take it all back. George Russell masterclass. He must have planned that from the grid walk. He must have planned that the entire white time and cause the retirement that way.
Well, Well, I mean, he was probably moaning on the radio, and then Toto pressed the off button on Kimi's car as soon as he got the overtake done. Kimi literally just said, "You know what? I'll show you that I can overtake him, and that's enough. I'll call it a day here. That's enough for me." And you know what? Fair play. I respect it. But Kimi's car giving up as soon as it overtook George is definitely a highlight.
Yeah,
Uh,
goodness me. Now, the other thing.
I mean,
Oh,
Mercedes have had.
yeah, you go, you
Sorry,
go.
I was going to say Mercedes have a lot of PU issues this season. Like their reliability has been fairly shocking, right? Whether it's customer teams or them themselves. Surprisingly, the Red Bulls had fairly good reliability um,
You know, Hadjar
compared
was
to
making some
Mercedes,
amazing
right?
overtakes. Did you see that around the outside of turn 3?
Yeah,
Crazy. It was so cool to see. Actually, I was
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah,
rating that. He was doing it in the same place every time, and it was just so hype. Like you never see overtakes in that part of the track.
yeah.
And to be honest, big up to these regs for that. Being able to see overtakes around
I
other
think
parts
that's
of the
what
track.
these exactly. These reg just mean that you can do overtakes where previously you wouldn't see overtakes happening. So fair play.
You know, everyone's been was hating on the rigs at the start, and I think now they've got the balance right. Surprisingly, I was never expecting that at the beginning of the season, but now I think they've finally got the balance right.
I Yeah, we'll get onto this, but I still don't. I'm not a big fan of these regs. But yeah, like I said, we'll talk about it a bit
Yeah.
later.
All right. Okay.
When we
Now
talk
this is
about
this is the
the
one thing I
F120.
wanted to share with you, Krish, and I don't know whether you know about it already. Um.
Okay,
So so on. Do you know why Hulkenberg retired?
no,
So in the last few laps, he was behind Lawson, doing really well in the points.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Lawson is in front of him, kicks up some gravel. Right. A stone from the gravel flies into the kill switch of his car behind the steering wheel.
No way.
and and
No way.
that's
What
and
are the
that's
odds
why he
of that?
retired. Sorry,
No
no,
way.
that's exactly
I
why
said,
he
what are
retired.
the odds of that?
No,
Yeah,
it's crazy. His luck this season is insane. I'm so livid
bruh.
that he still hasn't got points this season. He's literally he's done everything right. He got into Q3. He was smashing it throughout the entire race, and then just gets absolutely murdered by something that's completely out of his control. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Was that what else was there from this weekend? Oh yeah, Leclerc absolutely screwing it on his qualifying lap. Um, that man
Yeah,
is cursed. That man is genuinely cursed because
yeah.
he is a good driver. He is a good driver, but he I don't know what it is. He just makes some really silly mistakes. Whether it was in 2022 with the championship fight with Max, both Ferrari and him made mistakes, or whether it's fucking Monaco, and not really his fault, right? Because it was the the gravel,
You know,
not the gravel,
everyone,
the
what
tarmac.
I don't understand is he was saying it was the brakes, but I think that was easily the gravel, like so many other people.
It looked like it was the tarmac on the road breaking
Yeah,
up, right?
yeah,
Because Stroll did that, and we all thought it was just Stroll doing Stroll things. But then when it happened to Leclerc as well,
yeah, yeah.
you kind of go. Also, the FIA dealt with that. I've okay. The Sky Sports podcast. They say I think it was a Sky Sports podcast or one of the podcasts that I've seen. Don't quote me on this because I might have the wrong one. But one of the podcasts I listened to for the Monaco race, they said that what was the point in red flagging the race at that point? You just the drivers know that there's an issue, and the engineers should just warn them about that corner. But I think in a way they're right because you're not going to fix the track in a short red flag, are you? You're not going to
No,
repave the fucking
no.
tarmac. So I think it shouldn't have happened in the first place. But if it did happen, then honestly, red flagging it was. I don't know. I don't know. I can
I
understand
agree
why
with
they
that.
did
I
it.
agree with that red flag in Monaco. I think that was the right decision. And also, there was a car in the way. Like they crashed into the
There was
wall.
a car. there was a car in the way. They could have done a safety car for it and use that time of the safety car to look at the images, or have marshals look at the track to see if they need to red flag it.
Yeah,
But I think, like, realistically, they weren't going to actually solve the issue, and they didn't really, did they? So
yeah,
maybe they
yeah,
used it to clear the cars up. But you know what? I'm not part of the FIA. I'm not a steward. I'm not a race director, so I don't know what must have been going through, their head or their process during that time. But obviously, you'd want to err on the side of safety. So if that's what they decided, that's what they decided. It's better than
right.
having no safety car and just, or a VSC or something. So yeah,
Yeah. Right, let's get back onto Barcelona. Now, I just want to get
yeah.
into
Sorry,
what that the
took
we
a little bit of a detour.
little bit of a detour. The I just want to say what this means for the driver standings. Lewis Hamilton is second in the championship, like literally a couple of not like 1.5 race wins away from Kimi Antonelli now, thanks to that retirement. So it's fantastic for the championship. And what do you think? I think, like, do you think this early in the season they're going to say to Leclerc at Ferrari, prioritize Hamilton?
I think if it gets to it, then you would know, because where is Leclerc in the standings?
Leclerc is like sixth or so. Wait, let me get the stats up. Oh, he's, to be fair, he's fourth, but he's only on
He's
75.
fourth, but
He's 75 points versus 115. And
he's 40 points away from Lewis. Yeah.
yeah,
So I think I think if Lewis, I think it depends on the next couple races, really, because if suddenly Leclerc remembers who he is, and
are you trying to quote that
doesn't
fan
like,
that was saying that to Lewis?
yeah, yeah. Did you see the sign at the end in the podium celebration? One of the signs was, "Lewis, you remembered who you are," or something along those lines.
Well,
Um,
isn't that also a quote from just The Lion King as well? Like,
maybe
yeah.
I don't know, uh, but yeah, Leclerc.
Remember who you
I think
are,
if
Simba.
he, I
Yeah. Uh,
think if Leclerc remembers who he is and scores some decent points, then I don't see why you would. If he's close to Lewis, then fair play. But if not, then yeah, you prioritize Lewis over them, because realistically, we all kind of thought that Mercedes would just dominate this season. They have been so far. I mean, the gap between Lewis and Antonelli is still fairly sizable. It's 41 points, right? Um, but there's still quite a lot of races left, and there could be more mechanical failures, technical issues. Who knows? The Mercedes cars might crash into each other. I was kind of hoping they did
I
this
was
race,
so
low key,
hyped for
but
history to repeat itself when they were close to each other. I was
yeah.
like, please,
Well,
please, please, crash into each other. It'd be
on the
amazing.
on the Sky commentary team, Nico Rosberg was there, and I'm pretty sure he was the one doing the interviews post race as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that would have been that would have been really funny if that did happen, and
Did
Nico was
did
there.
you did you see
But
Nico get aired by Lewis going up to the bit where they have the anthem
in the
after
grid
the
walk,
in the grid walk? Yeah, yeah, he just got aired, which is
yeah.
really funny. But to be fair, he was quite polite apparently, according to Nico. But
And Nico,
whatever.
according to Nico, I don't know whether Nico was being sarcastic or not, but he did turn around and say something to Nico, so maybe he was just was being polite, but that was quite funny. Um,
I'm just imagining like two new Mercedes driver doing the exact same thing would be the like with them both there, would have been
yeah,
amazing to see. But yeah, sadly did not come to
yeah,
fruition. So yeah,
yeah,
Piastri had a bit of a woeful race, sadly.
yeah. He
Uh,
wasn't really on the pace this weekend. I don't know whether he's struggling with the car again or not, but Lando, I mean, Lando finished P3, right? Where did he qualify? He
uh,
qualified P4.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean, but if Antonelli didn't retire, then it would have been a very similar top five. I mean, it basically would be the same top five, um, as we saw in quali, except Lewis obviously getting the win.
Yeah.
But
Also, there was the
yeah,
whole aspect of the differing strategies with Lewis doing the three stop. And I was actually, for the first time, I think ever, I've been thoroughly impressed with the strategy team at Ferrari. Okay.
yeah,
They
yeah.
are
They
not
did a
clowns.
very
I take any previous comments back that I may have said in 2022. They they are not clowns. They've improved. They're evolving. You know, I think Lewis is actually kind of turning the team into his team. Like he's making the difference. They literally got them to change brake suppliers for him as well. By the way,
yeah.
so they like Leclerc's been using Brembo brakes the entire time, and I can't remember the name of the other brake supplier that Lewis uses, but but it's the same brake supplier Mercedes uses. So there was a difference between the
Okay,
two cars on brake supplier, um,
yeah.
and Leclerc, because of his complaints about the brakes, I don't know whether he did or he didn't, and that might have been the reason he crashed this race. Was because
Yeah, I don't know, because
he switched brake suppliers to Lewis's. Um, but
don't know. I mean,
yeah,
I heard Lewis say something about that in the interview. I can't remember exactly what he said. I think he mentioned that Leclerc switched, but I think he also said he switched back, but I don't know.
right.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. Let's move on
Um,
to what we think about the F1 26 expansion pack for F1 25.
hold on. I think
Okay.
Max Verstappen gets a mention
No, he
in
doesn't. He's not
this pod.
important this race. What is he doing? He's just chilling. He's just.
Like,
I don't
so
even know where he
what
finished.
my favorite quote from the race was him saying that talking about the car and the tires, like the car moving on the straight, and him saying, "Oh, it's quite impressive." And I was like, they've literally built a flipping shopping trolley for him to race in. But you know what? P5 to P4, only because
Oh,
Antonelli retired. But we'll take it.
look, I think like they're on the same, almost the same level as McLaren now. Like they're making a comeback. It's getting better. You know,
All I'm saying is when Max and whoever's in the second seat, whether that's Hadjar, Lawson, whoever, when they're close, the car is a bit shit, and Max doesn't really like it because when he does like it, there's a massive difference
that's
between
because
the two drivers. Usually,
they build the car to Max's style, right? But because Max's style is so front endy, and these regs are so torque on the rear, high torque on the rear on exit of corners,
yeah,
right? His style of brake super late into a corner, swing the car around with a bit of a loose back end, and then power out. Right, it's not as effective as it was last year. Where this year it's much more of a sort
yeah,
of rear weighted kind of setup because all the electrical torque is going through those rears a lot faster than usual. So that's my only thinking
yeah.
around why Hadjar this season specifically, and I'm thoroughly impressed with Hadjar for being able to keep up with Max this season. But I do think this pays partially
Right.
into it.
Well,
Um,
yeah. Well, ladies and gents, in the comments, please comment if Jamie is chatting absolute bollocks because I don't know whether he is or not.
Look, I think it's a good
Anyway,
take. I think it's a good take.
uh,
Okay, Krish. Okay, roast me, people. Come on, bring it. Anyway,
okay, so yeah, the F1 2026 season pack for the F1 25 game. What do you think?
I think it's more like the earlier, like literally the first few races. You know how they change up the regs a few races in because of the whole gimmick. I think it's more like the sort of Australia, China, all of those races early in the season. It's more like that, so it's more gimmicky, I'd say, in the F1 game than it
Yeah,
is now.
I don't know if they've yeah, I don't know if they have changed it to what the FIA's new rules are. I doubt they have. And I imagine that will be an update at some point, or I hope it will because it costs 21 quid. But yeah, I get what the drivers are complaining about now with the whole yo-yo racing, having played. I mean, this is probably far from what it actually is like in real life. Or,
You're just like, oh no, now I
but
understand your pain. I've played the F1 game, right?
I've driven the car. But I think they have modeled it to be somewhat accurate, I hope. But if that is the case, then I get what the drivers are kind of complaining about, because even in the game, like, it just isn't, it goes against all your racing instincts, because you want to kind of go flat out in a quali lap. You want to go straight on the brakes and straight on throttle, and not have to LICO, not have to lift and coast. But in order to regen the battery, you've got to lift and coast so much in some portions of the tracks, and especially more in tracks like Belgium, for example, where you have really long straights, or where you just get a bit of super clipping, even though that's not fully modeled into the. It's modeled to an extent in the game, but not to the same way as it is in real life. But you kind of manually end up super clipping yourself by just lifting and coasting. Um, yeah, it just, for me, it's like you point out with Max's driving style. It's very, very different to the way I normally drive in the game. So getting used to not braking late and braking actually early into the
Yeah,
corner, and lifting and stuff like that, it does take some getting used to. We played this with some of the people you've seen in our
yeah. But
league
also,
racing video.
big
If
up
you
the
haven't,
latest League Racing video. Go and watch that. Pop up banner above.
yeah, yeah. I was about to say, if you haven't, Jamie, put something at the top so people can go and see it. But um, yeah, we played some lobby races with them. It's annoying because, well, this is more Codemasters and the way they've done this update. It's annoying because you can't do two-player career, and you can't do league racing with this update. Don't know why, but
it's the most
I
stupid game in the world. Like it's so badly made. The
I
whole
know,
mail thing. Have
I
you?
know.
I don't know. Look, say in the comments. Agree. Have you ever had? You can't join a lobby because you have too much mail in your inbox in the game. Why? Why is this a thing?
Mate, that's the best thing about this game, that they've released a season pack, but they haven't fixed this whole too much mail bullshit that you've got in the game. Like, literally, if you'll spend ages communicating with EA servers. You go into mail, delete your mail, and you'll connect instantly. So, and also deleting your
Yeah, it
mail
doesn't
doesn't
delete your
delete
mail. It
anything.
doesn't do
It doesn't
anything.
delete.
It's just, it's just like,
Yeah,
I like,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Anyway,
the yo-yo racing, I'm not a huge fan
I
of,
think.
because I'll literally be.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on,
No, you
go
go.
on.
You go.
All right. Well, I was gonna say, in races like Belgium or Vegas, you'll literally be on the straight, and you'll be like, "Oh shit, the car behind has got the mushroom, and he can now,
Yeah.
he just speeds past you." Like, the turbo is crazy,
Yeah.
by the way. You literally feel like you're on steroids, or you're driving a rocket ship when it kicks in. But it makes it harder to judge, like, closing speeds, because it's so much easier to just press the turbo and not expect to be right at the back of someone when you are.
No, genuinely, like you
Um,
press the turbo, and like the amount of torque that goes through your ears, like you have to be so careful on the accelerator when doing it.
yeah,
I'm not sure I love
yeah,
that, but like I'm getting the hang of it slowly. We'll be putting out some league videos
yeah.
eventually. With the new F126
Whenever we can,
expansion, when we can get the gang together. So
yeah, I was gonna say, when we can get people together, we'll do
yeah.
it. But
Yeah, and
um,
also apologies for missing
the
the last
yeah,
like what 3 races because we've been on holiday, but we're back now, baby. We're back, and we're here for
yeah,
the long run.
yeah.
So I expect you to enjoy everything to the
And,
fullest.
unless we go on holiday, no. I think, yeah, yeah. The mushroom thing with Charles Leclerc and Verstappen saying that, I get it, I fully get it, because it's so frustrating. Because sometimes you just have to let the people behind you go and just save your battery and
Look,
just get them the next lap. But you also can't let them go too far ahead, because, like, me and Jamie were racing in Canada with the other guys as well. But Jamie was P1, I was P2. I was Lycoing for lifting and coasting for a lot of the laps, but I just couldn't, even with lifting and coasting and fully like on the turbo, I couldn't catch him enough to get him because I was just lifting and coasting too
Mm.
much.
Yeah,
So
but
I
basically,
think it's just
you
getting
sometimes
used
just
to
have to
where to
like
do it.
sacrifice yourself to get the pass done, knowing that you'll get overtaken on the next straight because you have no battery, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So, but hey. Also,
Or you,
forget mushrooms. We have bananas now with Hulkenberg's retirement. What's going on? Just you know, like pretty
yeah,
soon a bird's
that's
gonna
quite
poo
funny.
on somebody's visor, and then we're gonna have like the ink guy. Like anyway,
The
yeah,
squid
the
ink, yeah,
squid
yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Oh.
yeah. Honestly, it just feels like Mario Kart meets F1. So
Uh,
you know,
yeah,
um,
in the
I'm
game, yeah,
excited
yeah,
in the game. I'm excited. It does produce. We found that it does produce closer and like closer racing, and you get more overtakes. But it is kind of a result of artificially. It doesn't feel like you're actually overtaking because you overtake someone and they'll pass you literally the next straight because they've got boost or they've got a lot of battery, and then you'll do the same to them the next lap, and then they'll do the same to you again, and it's just yeah.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, alrighty.
Anyway, that's my rant on F120, the 2026 season pack.
Oh goodness me.
Um,
Anyway, thanks very much for watching this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a very quick summary, but
yeah.
it was fantastic having you all. Stay simple, my dudes.
Oh my god.
Good night. Very good to see you. Bye.
Oh, bye guys.